Alright, welcome back to another mobility and stability. So today, following kind of a similar structure as the last couple classes, we're going to do a little bit of a warm-up, go into a little bit of some active movement, and then back into a cool down. So we're actually just going to start with some arm circles today. So make sure your arms are spread out, and then we're going to start nice and slow, rotating forward, small circles. As you get comfortable, start making your circles slightly bigger. And then when you're comfortable achieving a full range of motion, we'll do 2 more. Okay, now we're going to start going backwards, so nice and small again, nice and slow here. Again, as you start warming up and getting comfortable, allow your arms to make a larger circle. Okay, from here, we're going to go into alternating overhead reaches. We did do this in my first video of mobility. So again, nice and slow. You're just reaching overhead. Work with your range of motion again. I've said this before, but if you simply can't reach as far as I do, don't force it. Stop where you feel kind of a pull, tightness, and over the weeks, those tight areas should loosen up. We're going to do 2 more per arm. Last one here. Okay, the next stretch we're going to do, so you will need a wall for this. Even a chair would work. Something that you could rest your foot up onto. If you have a wall nearby, I'll show you something you could do after this. So your heel will be on the ground, your toe is against the wall, hands will be on the wall, and you're just going to lean forward. So when you're leaning forward, you're going to get a stretch in your calf and your hamstring here. Okay, so the other foot should be slightly behind, and you're leaning forward. If you have a wall, get started with that stretch. If not, you can do a standing calf stretch, heel on the ground, toe pointing up, and holding the bottom position. Okay, so choose whichever one you would prefer. And we have about 10 more seconds on this leg. Alright, 4, 3, 2, and 1. So we'll switch legs, exact same thing on the opposite leg. Toes on the wall, heel on the ground, or doing that standing calf stretch. So we'll hold this for about 10 more seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Okay. We're going to go through this warm-up sequence twice, okay? So starting again with those arm circles. So nice and small, nice and slow. We're starting forwards first. As you get a little more comfortable, start allowing your circle to get slightly bigger. And then if you could achieve the full range of motion, we're going to do a couple here. Okay, we're going to start small again, going backwards now. Okay, so nice and slow, small circles. Again, gradually getting bigger. And if you can achieve that full range of motion, we're going to get a couple full circles here. Okay, now going into those overhead reaches. Again, nice and slow. We're going to do 6 per arm. We're at 4 here, so 2 left per arm. Okay, so again, either the standing calf stretch, or you're going to use the wall if you have one close by to you. So the toe on the wall here, heel on the ground, and you're going to lean forward into this, holding for about 20 seconds total. Deep breaths. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Switching legs, exact same thing on the opposite leg here. Leaning in, holding for about 20 seconds total. Halfway there. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Okay, if you want some water, grab some before we start our next circuit. Okay, so you will need a wall for the next exercise as well. Again, if you have no wall around, you could use an elevated surface, whether it be a table, a bench, anything close by. So we're going to do a wall push-up into a seated squat. So the seated part isn't necessary if you don't want to have it there, but I would encourage it to get the depth that you want on a squat. So what we're going to do, so you have the wall in front of you. Ideally, you'd have the chair behind you if you'd like to have the chair there. So your hands will be on the wall, and you're going to come in and push yourself out. So some things to keep in mind is just watch where your elbows are going. So if they're flaring out, be mindful and tuck those elbows back in. So we're fully engaging our chest and our triceps here, because that's the goal. Another thing to keep in mind is the farther you are away from the wall, the harder your wall push-up is going to be. So if I'm nice and close, tucked up to here, it's going to be really easy for me. As soon as I take that step back, a lot harder. Okay? So challenge yourself. If you find that it's extremely easy, take a step back, change the resistance, okay? So we're going to get started. We are going to do 12 reps. So wall push-up squat, wall push-up squat, okay? So we'll get started in 3, 2, and 1. The goal is to just tap your bum on the seat, but if you need to fully sit, that is perfectly okay as well. We're halfway there. This is 10 here. We have 2 left. Last one. Okay, from here we're going to go to some controlled toe raises. I'm going to use them all out of convenience, but anything will work. Broomstick, chair, anything that'll give you some support. So holding onto the wall, what we're going to do is we're going to come up onto our tippy toes, and then you want to count. My goal is always 4 seconds to get down. Count how long it takes you for your heels to fully touch the bottom. So the goal is to go as slow as you possibly can, and getting about 6 to 8 reps. The reason I give the rep range is because it just depends on how quickly you are going through this movement. I'm going to go for 6 here because I am going quite slow. So last one here. Okay, so we have 20 seconds. If you'd like to grab some water, feel free to grab some. And we're going to get started again with our next next set of wall push-ups and squats. We're starting in 10 seconds. Deep breaths. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Halfway there already. Two left. Last one here. Okay, right into those controlled toe raises again. So again, as slow as you possibly can go on the way down. Once your heels touch, right back up. Last one. Okay, 20-second break before we finish our last round of the wall push-ups to squat. Starting in 10, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. We're at 8. Two more. Last one. Okay, last round of those toe raises. Coming all the way up. Nice and controlled on the way down. Right back up. Got two more here. Last one. Okay, great. If you want some water, feel free to grab some. You will need something stable to sit on for the next circuit. So, we did this during the first week of mobility, so we are going to do a seated hip opener with a seated airplane stretch. So to start, a hip opener, just a reminder, if you're new to this class or if you've never done something like this, so your feet will be shoulder width apart, but you want to angle your toes out, okay? This is a really important step, so just make sure that your toes are pointing out. So either we're going to dangle our hands here. If you have a range of motion to reach for the ground, great. If you are still not feeling the stretch, reach those hands slightly forward, okay? We're going to hold this for 20 seconds. We're 10 seconds in. 3, 2, 1. Okay? We're going to do a seated airplane stretch. So the feet still shoulder width apart. So what you're going to do is your one hand is going to go to the opposite heel. The other hand is going to go straight up. And then you're just looking at your fingers in the sky. Three, 2, 1. Switching sides, exact same thing. I may have cut off my fingers, I apologize, they're up there. Three, two, one. Okay. Going right back into that hip opener. Spread those feet apart. Don't forget that step. Again, either dangling or reaching for the ground. Holding for 20 seconds. Five, four, three, two, and one. Okay, bring those toes back in. We're going to do an airplane stretch now. Opposite hand, heel. Looking at those fingers in the sky. Three, two, one. Switching sides. Three, two, one. Okay, last round of this hip opener. Okay, so again, toes pointing out, okay? There's one thing you can remember is to keep those toes out. We are going to reach for the ground or dangle, holding for 20 seconds. I've said it in past videos, but if you're going to use like a deck chair or a chair at home, make sure it doesn't have wheels. You need something stable to sit on in order to do these movements. 3, 2, 1. Okay, last round of that airplane. Three, two, one. Switch your sides. Three, two, one. Okay, grab some water quick if you'd like some. We're going to finish up with some neck stretches. I'm going to raise this slightly so you can see my head. Okay. So, for the first stretch that we're going to do, very, very simple. Again, you don't have to do this seated if you don't want to. I'm just going to do it for today. So, we're going to do chin to chest. So your chin is going to touch your chest or as low as you can get. And then you're going to come back to neutral. Try to avoid swinging your head back. You're going to possibly put yourself at risk for straining your neck, especially if you're doing it quickly. So this movement should be nice and slow, and we're only coming back to neutral. So chin to chest to neutral. Okay? We're going to do 8 of these, starting in 3, 2, 1. Two more. Last one. Okay, the next one we're going to do is basically chin to shoulder. So you're going to look at your shoulder, back to neutral. Okay, we're going to do 8 of these as well, starting now. Switching sides. Last one on this side. Okay, the last neck stretch we're going to do, I'm going to sit sideways just quickly to see how my hands are going. So you're going to grasp your hands behind your back, kind of like you're holding your hands. Then you're going to bring your hands to one side of your body, okay? So once they are as far as you can to one of your hips, you're going to look at that shoulder, and we're going to hold for 3, 2, 1, and then switching the gaze away from your shoulder for 3, 2, 1, back to the elbow, 1, 2, 3, and back to the shoulder, 1, 2, 3. Keeping your hands held, switch the side, that's your elbow sticking out. Looking at the elbow, 3, 2, 1. Switching the gaze to the shoulder, 3, 2, 1. Back to the elbow, 3, 2, 1. And back to the shoulder. Okay, so that concludes today's mobility and stability. Hopefully you did enjoy it. If there are specific areas you'd like me to work on, whether it be lower body, upper body, specific aches, pains, all of that, feel free to leave it in the comments on either Facebook or YouTube. I check them daily because I'd love to know how to make these classes better for you. So let me know. And if not, everyone, have a great day. Bye for now. Oh, never mind, it didn't end. Bye now.